Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Blackforexgroup coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the NZDUSD, also known as the Kiwi. But before we get started to break down this Forex pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. With that said, we all know why you guys are here. Find good, credible Forex content to help improve your ability as a trader and to help put a little extra money in your pocket. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and see what we can do about that. Now, you guys, as you guys know, before we get to breaking down what's happening on the chart, if you watched our previous videos before here at Black Forex, we're very big on fundamentals and what is actively going on with each currency, respectively. Okay. So we're going to get started with the NZD because the USD, even though we're going to explain what happened, is becoming redundant and repetitive. So we're going to start with the NZD first because if you watch some previous videos, you should have a clear understanding of what's going on with the USD, but we're going to still break it down too, so don't worry. All right. Now, with the NZD, also known as the Kiwi, it has been one of our stronger currencies over the last several trading weeks, and so also starting off at the beginning of this week, as you can see. But we're going to have to start paying attention to a couple of factors that's going on with this, okay? Because we did get some poor news come out about the NZD at the beginning of the trading week, and we did get some poor news come out about the NZD yesterday afternoon around 4 and 5 o'clock respectively. Okay. So with that being said, we are looking for some aggressive retracement to come in very, very soon. Okay. Now with the USD, we know what's going on with this. We have inflation hanging over the USD. We did have some poor economic news come out about the USD last week. We do have some economic news coming about the USD at 10 o'clock this morning. So we're going to have to see how that plays out on the chart. And also, we did have the Federal Reserve increase the interest rate from 25% to 50% to help combat the inflation. And now there's many news reports from many different news and business outlets alike that is saying that the Federal Reserve is looking to increase the interest rate some more and also put several other economic policies and measures in place to help combat the interest rate. So these talks and along with them actually doing this, we should start to see some strength happening with the USD. Okay. But this is what's going to be the two deciding factors with that. The only way the USD will start to gain strength is if these economic policies and measures and increase in interest rate starts to tackle the inflation very aggressively and very fast, very expeditiously. Okay. And if that starts to happen, you will see a very aggressive strength in the USD. Okay. Now, if the economic policies and measures in place does not combat the interest rate at a fast enough pace or an aggressive enough pace, then what we're going to see is uncertainty start to surround the USD and it will even become much, much weaker than what it is currently right now. Okay, so now that we got the fundamentals out of the way, let's talk about what's happening on the chart. This has been one of our stronger currencies. NZD has been one of our stronger currencies, with the USD being one of our weaker currencies over the last several trading weeks, even going into the beginning of this week. But now, as you can see, we're starting to get a slowdown with our momentum towards the push-up side. This is because now we're entering, if you guys are Star Trek fans, we're starting to enter new territory. I like to call this the Delta Quadrant of the chart. If you guys don't know Star Trek, that was the uncharted space that Starfleet has never been in. Okay, you gotta understand. My dad's a big Star Trek fan, so I kind of became somewhat one too. Okay, so now we're starting to enter space we haven't been in since. Let's see, when was the last time we were this high? November of last year. Okay, so since November of last year, we have not been this high. So now we're starting to enter new space when we haven't been that high. Okay, now the example I like to use about cautioning about buying things at all-time highs is Dogecoin. When Dogecoin craze happened about I think it was like 2 to 3 years ago, everybody was buying Dogecoin because the prices were shooting up. You had people buy it at 30 cents, you had people buy it at 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents. Excuse me, 70 cents. And then also what happened is that Dogecoin price started to fall very, very aggressively, and it has not. It's been trading between, I think, between 20 to, I believe, 27 cents. It has not looked north of 30 cents since that time. It did have that aggressive shoot up. So you got a lot of poor souls out there who bought Dogecoin at that very high prices, thinking, even some people bought it towards that 70 cent towards high price, thinking it was going to keep going up, not understanding you don't want to buy things once they hit all-time highs. You kind of want to wait. So this is with the same situation with this. Okay, you don't want to place a, well, you don't want to just place a trade here because it's looking like it's going up. Now, even for the long term, it is looking like it's going up because we cleared many areas of which price that it came down aggressively. But what we have to do is we have to pay attention to once we start to get to areas we haven't been to in quite some time. Okay. And also with us getting to these new areas, coupled with the NZD bad news that's been coming out since the beginning of this trading week, also coupled with the uh, aggressive combating on inflation by the Federal Reserve, which we should start to see an increase in USD strength in a sometime in a very, very near distant future, we are going to see a price drop. Okay. Now price may now to see let's see how far price may drop. We may drop as far as this area here, this area here, or we can drop as far as this area here before we go back towards the long side. Okay. Now if you place a buy in this area here, like I know just that you know for a fact for some reason that the USD is going to be weak and NZD is going to remain strong, you do still going to have some retracement. And remember, charts are not unilateral. They just don't go up or just don't go down. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Okay. So with that being said, you want to wait to have some pullback before you go ahead and place your buy. Okay. And then also when you have a retracement coming in, there is a possibility that the fundamentals can start turning over on you while this retracement is happening, making it turn from retracement to actually price turn over. Okay. So you always want to be cautious when you start to get to all-time highs, and the same thing when you start to get to all-time lows, whether it's high or low. When you start getting to these areas hasn't been at in 6 to 8 months or all times, you always want to be cautious about continuing in that direction because it does not mean that direction is going to continue. And usually when you start to get to areas you haven't been at in some time or all times, the retracement or the pull or the pushback is going to be very, very, very aggressive. Okay. So once again, like I said, we may go as far as here or this area here, around this area here, or around this area here before price starts to pick back up again. But keep in mind, while we're going down and retracing, we could have fundamental news that can change this over to make this go from which was looking a promising long position to going towards a short position. Okay. So hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.